Good morning, friends. It's Thursday. It's time for coffee and conversations. I forgot to hit that little timer thing, and I was distracted reading about the book of Joel, which we're going to be jumping into. We'll give an overview briefly this morning, and then next week we'll jump into it. Uh, Fascinating book. What book of the Bible isn't fascinating? Anyhow, yeah, I'm excited to jump into it as we'll see what benefits it holds for us. I won't go very long today just because there's yeah, we won't jump into it itself. Hopefully you can hear me. Karen, you're here, so can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. All right. Sound deadening project is ongoing. I went downstairs during Awana yesterday, and while the kids were running around upstairs, and you can still hear kids, you can still hear people, but it is way better than it used to be. I ran a decibel meter, and it said you're in a quiet house, so that's a good sound or a good sign. It's kind of like if you've ever lived in a downstairs apartment and you could hear people uh, running around upstairs, just kind of ever so slightly. You can still have a conversation, you can still interact, and you can hear each other. It's going to be great. And it's continuing to go on. So if you are able and available to help on Saturday with that, we would love for you to help with that. Men, women, they'll take anyone that's willing to contribute. Sunday is the big game party after in the afternoon. That big event that's happening. There's going to be food. There's going to be the game. There's going to be other games. So we invite you to come and participate. Invite friends to come watch the game on the big, huge projector and enjoy some good food and fellowship. It'll be a great time to spend together. So use this as an opportunity to invite someone to come hang out with you and watch the game. Maybe your house is a mess. Maybe it's a total disaster, but you want to hang out with people during this big game. But you kind of don't want to do all that work to clean. You don't want to pick up everything, but you want to hang out with your friends. Invite them to come with you and watch here. It's a great just opportunity to build time and hang out and fellowship, and they can meet your church family, your friends, and get to know some believers. And then this space that's behind me becomes a little less intimidating for them to come at some point on a Sunday morning. And on that note, if you ever invite someone to come to church with you on a Sunday morning, consider sitting with them and even inviting to come with, drive with them or meet them in the parking lot so you can help lower the threshold, the barrier of anxiety that it really can bring. If someone never goes to church, they're walking into an environment that they're just like, what do I expect? What do I wear? What do I do? And so consider as you invite family members, friends, and neighbors to church, consider the things you can do of helping alleviate any anxiety that might be produced by coming into a new space. Think of all the things that you feel when you go into a space you've never been into before. You've never been there before. You don't know what they do. Maybe you're going somewhere that's totally foreign to you. What do you want people to help you understand and grasp? And then Parents' Night Out on February 13th. It's a Friday the 13th. It's too easy. Parents' Night Out. If you are a parent of our church, we would love for you to sign your kids up and bring them and have them hang out here on that night so you can go have a date, so you can go do something with your spouse, or if you're a single parent and you call this church home, we would love to enable you to do that. Or if you have neighbors who have kids and you want to go on like a double date or invite them over to play cards or dominoes or watch a movie, feel free to invite them to take advantage of this and then use it as an opportunity to fellowship and build a relational bridge with them. We'd love for you to do that. It's sometimes hard to find a good opportunity to have time off without your kids, and it's good to have connections with other adults. Take advantage of this. Ask people if they want that. So consider doing that. And then lastly is Right Now Media is something that we subscribe to. You've heard about it before, but this is just a good reminder as we're jumping into the book of Joel. There's a series on there by the Bible Project, and it covers all the different books of the Bible. It gives you like a graphic-y little overview of the book. It like sketches it out as it talks to you about it. And if you want to dive into different books of the Bible, it's a great way to just like prep your brain as you're going to read it. Maybe you're in a Bible reading plan, and at the beginning of each new book you watch that 5-minute video to just prep your mind, prep your heart, prepare you to read it. You'd be well served by doing that. It's like a sketched version of an introduction in a study Bible. So consider using that. I'm actually going to put the link in the chat for the book of Joel for it. So consider jumping into that and watching it as you help kind of prepare your heart and mind to go into reading with us the book of Joel. The book of Joel is fascinating. It highlights actually something really important for us as we think about the Bible and its inspiration by God. The book of Joel doesn't tell us when it was written. We don't know at what point in Israel's history, in Judah's history, that the book of Joel was written. Now, because it refers to Judah, we can know that it's after the dividing of the kingdom. So after Solomon's death and his son Rehoboam is a dummy and listens to his buddies rather than the older men, and the kingdom splits. Jeroboam taking the 10 northern tribes and Rehoboam leading Jerusalem, but Judah and Benjamin. We don't know when it was written. There are some people who suggest that it was written during the time of Hosea and Amos because it's put in that time frame. So it could be there. But at the same time, there are indications that it might be written after the exile. There's no mention of a king in the book of Joel. There's priests and the temple. So that's a clue, but there are priests and a temple prior to the exile, and there are priests and the temple after the exile. But if there's no mention of a king, does that mean the nation is still under the rule of a foreign power? We don't know. We don't know when he is prophesying. And additionally, what doesn't give us a clue to the time frame is he never explicitly states sins. He never explicitly states what the issue that they are facing judgment for. It's fascinating. But here's what I think is really important for us as we think about the Bible as a whole and inspiration of Scripture is that God doesn't answer every question for us in the Bible. The Bible doesn't give us an answer for every question we might have. Contrary to what Thomas Aquinas thought about, the Bible doesn't tell us how many angels can dance on the pin of a needle. I believe he actually pondered that. The Bible doesn't tell us that. It's not important. What God reveals to us is what we need. What he doesn't reveal to us, we don't need. We don't need to know when the book of Joel was written. We need to know that we need to hold to and believe that the book of Joel was a real individual who gave real prophecy and declared truths that are beneficial to us, just like the book of Hebrews doesn't tell us who wrote it or who preached it or who preached it and then took their notes and made a book out of it. No preacher has ever done that in the history of the world. John MacArthur, John Piper, Charles Spurgeon, John Calvin, Martin Luther, John Owen. None of those guys, none of them. None of the guys that are up on my shelf, their little busts up there. Well, you can actually see Spurgeon right there. None of them have ever taken their sermons and put them into book form. What the Bible reveals to us is what we need for life and godliness. So since the Lord saw fit to not give us the date of when it was written, we have to be okay with that. We have to say, Lord, I don't know why you didn't include this. I really am interested in it, but you didn't leave it for me. So I don't know. So that's okay. We don't know a lot about Joel either. His name is mentioned, but we don't know much about him. There are little clues in there, but not significant ones to be able to do anything with, to speak of anything with determination. That doesn't feel like the right word. Anyhow, the book of Joel is fascinating. And in it, we are going to see that the Lord is at work in both the present, or what was the present for them, and work in the future. And we're going to see that he uses even natural disasters for his purpose. We live in a day and age when to ascribe to natural disasters spiritual overtones or connections is kind of frowned upon. But in the book of Joel, we see that God used a natural disaster for his purpose to get people's attention. The book of Joel reminds us that the physical, the natural, when disasters happen, it should cause us to look upward and inward. It causes us to ask, where might you be at work, Lord? And then also, it points us to the day when the Lord will be at work in a greater way, bringing history to culmination, and the final day of the Lord, and say, am I being prepared? Am I looking and considering and thinking about the Lord and the future that is to come? It's a clarion call to look at the circumstances that are around us, and ask ourselves, am I being mindful of God? And am I being mindful of myself and my need to turn to God? It's a call to repentance and being in relationship with the Lord without specifics, which is actually kind of one of the benefits of it. It allows us to walk in faithfulness and not just point fingers. Well, that's not happening to us, or that's not me. It really allows for more introspection than if he had been specific about the sins that they were committing. Just generic. You need to turn to the Lord. You need to look to the Lord. And so I'm actually really excited for us to jump into this book for that reason. We get to look and say, Lord, what should I be learning from the writings of this prophet, from his prophetic message? What should I learn? How should I respond? How should I view the world? How should I view the things that are going on around me? How should I view the turbulent times we live in? How should I view myself? And Lord, how can I live faithfully before you until your final day of the Lord? So, friends, I hope that kind of pumps you up, excites you about us jumping into this book. So we'll jump into it next week, and we'll start in chapter 1. I would encourage you to go watch that Right Now Media video. If you don't have access to that program through us, and Valley View is you are relationally connected to the church, we would love to give you access to that. So you just let us know, and we'll make that happen. All right, friends, I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I will see you on Sunday.